Hi Sages, and welcome to your August 2020 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk about your energy coming in for the month of August. Thank you so much for being here, Sages. I hope that you are feeling okay coming into August. I want to really establish a very calm and healing space for you this month, as you are one of the signs that feels to me to need to really make things easier on yourself and get things really feeling nicer, really sort of a proverbial oiling of the cogs really needed for you this month. So I'll tell you a little bit about my process, Sages, and I'll kind of tell you about some of the symbolism that I think is coming in for you. But whenever I do these readings, usually I try to only do like one sign per day, but sometimes I have to do 2 or 3 to meet the deadline. But always I will go through the beginning of my day and I'll just kind of really establish and go into a meditative state that I want to sort of see in my own experience, symbolic things that I can relate to each sign that I'm reading for. And I will say, Sages, that I'm just doing your reading today. And as I was going through my day, there was definitely a harshness. There was a lot of stress I was seeing around me, and I wasn't partaking in it. It wasn't directed toward me, but it felt like everybody that I was coming into contact with was really stressed out, really frantic, really trying to make ends meet. And also a little bit rude as well. There was a rudeness around like people, and there were people struggling with like authority issues and control issues. And and I was thinking about that in the context of Sagittarius, and I did kind of understand why that could be for you guys. Also, I will say that there was a bit of like a parasitic, vampiristic energy as well. It felt like people were really desperate to, I don't know, have what other people have, or really come into a place of being nourished by other people. So that was sort of the symbolic thesis of what I was seeing in my day as I was meditating on your energy. And I really understood that this was going to conclude for you, that these experiences, especially as you're moving into August, were going to really start concluding, okay? You can almost track or see every difficulty that you have in your daily rhythm or in your connections with others. There's a really strong emphasis for Sagittarius placed on doing things yourself, placed on independence, placed on freedom and liberation for you. It's not going to be so much about having other people assist you this month, okay? So any very strong dependence or reliance on the assistance of another person, I'm feeling really strongly is not where it's at for you this month. Jupiter is retrograde in Capricorn. This is one of the last months where it's going to be retrograde in Capricorn. So I think that Sagittarius's magic this month, if we can call it that, is really in not fostering reliances elsewhere, not creating relationships with people based on what we're getting out of it instead of the enjoyment that we have. Anything like that just has to be nil. Also, anything dealing with like authority figures, so like landlords, bosses, anything like financial, like debts or people that you owe or anything like that, anything where you're hierarchically feeling beneath people, I would maybe avoid isn't the right word, but I wouldn't try to involve yourself strongly with those things. I think that this is the most potent time of Jupiter being retrograde in its debilitated sign, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius. It is your ruling planet. So you feel Jupiter retrogrades much more strongly than the other signs. So Capricorn is a sign that deals with hierarchy. It deals with, who is above who is beneath who, all of those tough things, and Jupiter naturally does not like those concepts. Jupiter is about expansion. It's about breaking past hierarchical debilitations. So that's why it's debilitated in Capricorn, and it's retrograde there. So this is one of the toughest times of your life when it comes to placing yourself within authority, within, power dynamics, within anything that's a ladder, like a ladder of hierarchy. So that's why I think that you guys just need to stay off the ladder for the most part. Great time for solitude for you here. Great time for a clean surrounding, okay? Really cleansing your body. I'm feeling that there's something annoying about the surroundings too, something off-putting. I don't know, it's like maybe there are a lot of like spiders crawling around your house. Maybe the drains are backed up or something, or just something weird and it doesn't make sense. Like the drains are clear, but they're just not like working right. Something about infrastructure, like plumbing, webs in the house, things like that are coming in. And I don't want you guys to worry about it. And why, if you're having difficulty with like weird little annoying things, like you just cannot get rid of, I don't know, like, of like a candida infection or something. There's a sense of like something just not being able to be extinguished for you guys. Something inanimate, something that is not, this isn't about other people. This is about some kind of weird feeling of bad luck or weird feeling of like things just not really being able to come together. I will say Jupiter retrograde in Capricorn is like the archetype of bad luck. Okay. So yeah, that's why we're probably not trying to sign on to new business ventures, not starting anything that we have no context with, not, going into manic desperations about, oh, I could have that position or anything like that, and I'm going to do that right now. You have a lot of purpose right now. That's the tough thing about August for Sag. So we'll talk about what's good for you guys. But you guys probably watched the August comprehensive video, which I'll link below if you haven't been able to catch up yet. But it's Leo season, and that's a time where Sagittarius gets so much purpose and motivation and so much reality check too, especially getting towards Virgo season, about what they're meant to do and what they're meant to be here for. So maybe it's not easy to feel this huge amount of purpose and motivation coming in while knowing that to climb that ladder or to start on that path is not the most lucky or fortuitous time. So this is where timing, okay? This is where Sagittarius really learns about timing. It's crazy. And ultimately a really good thing. Like, I'm not kidding, Sagittarius. You guys are going to look back at this time next year and be like, wow, I really did what it took to get on my feet. Or it wasn't easy. It was hard. Something about that was like visceral and ever changing, but I stood up on my own 2 feet, and with my own fortitude, I forged my own destiny away from some of those really inauspicious people or really inauspicious jobs or really inauspicious paths that I didn't think I could get off of. So that's really empowering for you guys, and I'm getting chills. As someone who also has a lot of Sagittarius, I can relate to these feelings of like the inauspicious thing, the inauspicious experience, everybody goes through a time in their life where that happens, and it's not for every single Sagittarius. Okay, don't worry. If you're feeling good as a Sag, you probably already did that earlier this year. You probably already conquered the feeling that your destiny is not in your control. And if you haven't done it yet, now's the time. Okay, and we'll talk more in the week to week about very measurable things you can do to elicit that. So one more intuitive message before we get into the week to week. There's a lot of clutter, I'm feeling like. So 8 of Swords, 8 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, 9 of Wands. Do you guys see all the swords, all the wands, all the pentacles? Everything's kind of scattered about. So if you guys are living in like a scattered, cluttered environment, congratulations, you're like about to have a huge spiritual level up. For those of you who are kind of wandering about, there's sort of an aimless wandering I also feel in your energy, and it's creating like clutter. It's creating things scattered. So especially by Virgo season and into September really for Sagittarius, but late August as well. Things have to really be like optimized, okay? Optimization, not in Leo season really does that really take effect, but you can be motivated by it at that point in time. You can really step into that, maybe becoming a purpose to really optimize your life or make things more concise. But I think that what's stressing you out, Sag, is you're a very eclectic, eccentric energy. Jupiter in Capricorn, it does not support eccentricity. It doesn't support being energetically invested in a million different places, because it makes it really hard to have greatness in any of those placements. It more so lends toward a mediocrity in many places during Jupiter and Capricorn to try to be super eccentric or eclectic. So we have to kind of really focus our eggs into the basket that we want, which the good thing about it, okay, is that it does show us what we truly care about, okay? What we truly are motivated by is seen more clearly when we have to choose, okay? But it's not easy for a Sagittarius to choose. It's a more indecisive sign. It kind of wants to make to have its cake and eat it too, which is not always bad, but it's not really a time where we have that right now, Sagittarius. So, and that's okay. And how do you think your love of life, your optimism, your desire for everybody to feel strong and empowered, where does that come from? It comes from times like these, okay? It comes from times like these where you can identify limitations, where you see that, I don't just have every choice right now, where you see that, okay, there are some people who are just extremely rude, some people who are extremely unaware of the kindness within, me or the people around me or these people that I'm seeing. Like something that's painful for Sagittarius right now is to see that a lot of other people just cannot see the kindness or cannot see the possibility or cannot see the blessing of what the Sagittarius or the Sagittarian people are providing to their lives. So that's hard. Okay, it's painful to see, but within that, you also can come into a new philosophy or a new ideation about achieving more in the future based on these, based on this sort of like set of problems that you face right now. Anyway, Sagittarius, let's talk about the week to week, and I'm going to bring in some more positive messages as well about how you can thrive more in this month. So week number 1 of August, Sagittarius, you've got 3 of Wands rooted down by 7 of Wands. So yeah, that's that internal conflict that I'm feeling relating to your next horizon, relating to what you're working toward, the visualization that you're having of your potential being something that's making you feel as if more opposition is coming into your life, or as if things have to be more debated or conflicted in order to get there. So there's a kind of a tweaking of the philosophy in the first week of August. And it's important because there's a frustration, or there is, as you're doing the things that you love, okay, you might be feeling like really frustrated as you're doing it, or you might be upset to be embarking on certain like motivational paths. So that definitely has to be noted. If there's any frustration or bewilderment relating to things that you've convinced yourself that are very positive for you, any like contradiction, okay, any conflicted contradiction like that has to really be seen. And beyond that, with Neptune retrograde as well and Uranus moving retrograde, are we tricking ourselves in any way? Okay. Are we fooling ourselves in any way? Feeling pain, feeling insecurity, feeling fears of insignificance as well, that are leading us to seek something that is not really the idea. It might not be for some Sagittarius. Again, some Sagittarius are like really like have discovered a like diamond of purpose, okay? And it's like they finally know what they want to do with their life force energy, and that's such a victory for many Sagittarius. But those Sagittarius would also then probably show you all of their accomplishments, or they would show you what they have to show for that discovery, which would be something really cool. Now they're studying more, now they're reading more books, now they're really involved in having a clean body, clean house, clean mind, and they're also not afraid of backlash, or they're not afraid of any like errors that they can come through when they're embarking on that path. So that's a good way to kind of discern whether or not this is like a need to be formidable, or whether it's like true purpose and motivation. Okay. What will discern that is how healthy things are surrounding as you step onto that path. So week number 2, you have 7 of Pentacles rooted down by 4 of Cups. I do think that you are really reflective. That's cool, because Sag does not have as many opportunities as some of the other signs to really reflect and really sit and understand the true moral of the past stories. That's your opportunity in the second week of August. Those are the two most, in my opinion, the 2 strongest cards relating to reflection and past orientation. So, sometimes for Sagittarius, it does take this much conflict to just create that space. So the second week of August, you want to be as free as possible, okay? Don't stack yourself up in a difficult work schedule, or in any type of false output, or in any favors to other people. You want to only really be beholden to yourself in that time, because your inner sense of self will grow much stronger. As you might look through old pictures, or you might see old videos, or you might just see your silhouette from the past and understand within your silhouette like what you're meant for. That's a really cool thing right now, actually. Through your body, through your physical form, through seeing it in the past, actually. So like old photos, old videos, you can actually solve any problems of current output, or any problems of, what is my purpose? What is my motivation? Sometimes in a year like Jupiter and Capricorn, it's in like the physical form. Okay. It's only physical. It's not about philosophies or idealizations or visualizations. It's about like a true physical representation. So something in you really wants to play that role, being a representative of yourself in some way. So you're stepping into that, and that can actually be really good. So a personal brand, yeah, that's possible in the future. A brand that you really invest a lot into, a goal, a company, something like that. It could happen. It could be. And it could be super popular, but are you ready to really blast off? And that's another question that I would definitely pose to Sagittarius right now. Like, I think that you want bigger things, or many of you do. But are you really ready for it to be as big as you want it to be? Okay. Are things really in a place where you think that that's the right time for that? For those of you who it is, go for it. We know. So the universe has a great way of telling us when the right timing is to, jump out on that limb, to apply for that position, to, run for that, position, to do whatever it is. It has a really divine way of letting us know that it's the right time. And that oftentimes is when everything is in order, when things are getting a little bit boring, when it's not hard to clean your house, when it's not, when you're not wondering, what am I going to do with, these possessions of mine? What is the meaning of my life? What is the purpose? What is my time being allocated toward? Those types of questions are a sign that we're having to deal with more mundane things. But once those things are all in order and we're a little bit bored, life is a day-to-day experience, we're healthy, we're thriving, we have a lot of things in order, that's when the universe is signaling to us, yeah, go big, take it to the next level, because you're secure and stable. At least in a year like this, that's how that works. There are other times where even in like darkness, or even in some amount of discord, like you can really ascend, but not right now. Third week, Sagittarius, 8 of Pentacles, rooted down by the Lovers. So a new creative project or a new crossroads. So yeah, for a lot of you, your current output or your current energy that you're investing in life has generated a crossroads. So am I going to take this business this way or that way? It's interesting. What you want to show to the world is at a crossroads. So yeah, you just got to refine your projection, refine your expression. And that's going to be very connected to what you enjoy doing with your day, what you enjoy creating, what you enjoy molding with your hands, and also how you've been trapped or ensnared. So I'm going to talk about the 4th week in relationship to this, with 8 of Swords rooted down by 9 of Wands. So feeling trapped in a routine, or feeling trapped by the ideas of another person, feeling trapped by the connotation of another person in your life, thinking back to the past. Again, with 4 of Cups and 8 of Swords in the same spread ever, I'm like, oh my gosh, we are feeling like scared of the past. We're afraid of our momentum. We're afraid of how hard we've loved, or how hard we've tried and had to no avail. And maybe there's even a little bit of like embarrassment or humiliation there too, as that is possible in this year for Sagittarius. Yeah, if you feel embarrassed, or if you feel like you've been a bit oblivious, or like forgotten something, and feel like not clear or not sharp because of forgetfulness or anything like that. As I said in the August comprehensive video, we've got to really start working on the heart chakra, okay? Majorly. Like, just go on a Googling spree. Google the heart chakra. It's all very clear how you can work to heal that. But yeah, it does mean like exercising, really knowing your own power over yourself, understanding the freedoms that you do have, understanding the potential that you have as well. And what's difficult is that in a year like this, we can start to get like angry, like I had the opportunity to do this, or I had the opportunity to be much further ahead than I am now, but I didn't take it, and I'm upset about that, and I don't think I'll ever have that type of opportunity again. That can definitely come up right now. So the only thing that we can really do is not repress it, not suppress it, but I would say actually open a door. Okay, this is what I've been saying to all the signs to some degree, actually, is we do have a great potential to just open a door right now. The worst thing when we're upset about not having honed in on a potential that we had, the worst thing is to allow more time to pass without doing it. Okay, so a bit contradictory to what we were just talking about, but I'll make it very clear. Sagittarius, if you're not satisfied right now, you've really got to open the door to some new territories. Okay, too much time just in oblivion, I'll call it, like just staring, okay? Because you guys need solitude right now. You need that so bad, and some of you, it can be okay. But too much time just aimlessly pacing around, or I don't know, you get my drift. That's not great right now. So 4th week, you want to really understand what's taking way too much of your energy and what's still trapping you. You know, 9 of Wands is like way too much energy is going to something. And then with 8 of Swords, contextually, that has to do with way too much energy going to how we feel trapped, or how we feel unliberated, or how we feel a lock sort of on any type of freedom. So I would say that your energy is much more vital than you think that it is. And overall for this month, Sagittarius, you just have to really, really understand the theme of crossroads, conflict, and discernment as well. Those 3 things, okay, will really unlock the door that you need to open, right? The only major arcana card being the Lovers. So it will have to do with love. It will have to do with relationships. It will have to do with the people that you've wanted to share your life with. But that energy has a lot better places to work as well. So it's just food for thought, Sages. And overall, like you forge your own destiny is really the main idea, okay? And with a lot of thought about these difficulties that we've talked about here, that can become more so your destiny, you know? So really take control of the destiny now if you can. You guys have that ability and that potential, but it's not about, you know, going crazy and shining and doing whatever it takes to like be front and center. It's just about like really solving some of these old long-running problems. Anyway, Sagittarius, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising sign to get more perspective for sure. But I am also going to be putting together an extended reading over on Patreon. We're going to talk some more about positive messages. We're going to look at a central theme and 2 supporting themes to get the idea of what's coming in for Sagittarius. So if you guys would enjoy to check that out, I will link it below as well as in the center of the video. Patreon is a great way to support the channel and get all the readings early, ad-free, and their extended counterparts. So it's only $5 a month as well. So it's a great value. I will talk to you guys soon, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for being here. Let's jump over to Patreon for the extended now.